You know, not all watersheds are the same or look like this one. Let's have a look at a watershed in Colorado.
Hi, my name's Dave Winters. I'm a stream ecologist that works with streams, what lives in streams and around streams, and we're currently standing at the Continental Divide at about 12,000 feet elevation on the Pike San Isabel National Forest in Colorado. I'm standing at a very important location in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado called the Continental Divide. And the importance of this Continental Divide, which runs the full length of the country, is it separates the water that flows to the eastern part of the country as opposed to the water that flows to the western part of the country. So if I threw a snowball to my left, the water that melted from that snowball is going to eventually end up on the Pacific coast flowing westward. If I threw another one to the east of me, the water that melts from that snowball is going to end up going east and eventually into the Mississippi River and into the Atlantic Ocean. So it's a very important part on the landscape. What we'd like to do today is talk to you about the South Platte watershed that begins right at this elevation, which is about 12,000 feet above sea level. You can see right here, there's a small stream that's coming out of this snowpack that's going east, and there's thousands of these that will come together and form the South Platte River. We've now moved about 1,000 feet in elevation down from the Continental Divide, and we're in a very different environment. You can see behind me more water, larger streams, and a wider valley than we had up above us. And this is also a very important part of the South Platte watershed. About tens of thousands of years ago, large glaciers were found in this area that were up to several miles thick because of the elevation, and the climate at that time was very cold. As these glaciers melted, they scoured this valley into a very wide, flat dimensions that you see here that are very effective at storing water on the landscape, and which is released more slowly down into our river systems. All of those small streams and rivulets that we saw up at the Continental Divide that may have been very narrow now have combined into a much larger stream called the Upper South Platte River. Because of the size of the stream now, we have fish living in the stream. We have much more abundant aquatic insects and other animals that live in the stream. Mink live here, and they all interact together to form animal and plant communities that depend on each other. We're standing at the edge of Terriel Creek at about 8,000 feet, much lower downstream than we were at the Continental Divide. As you can see, there's a lot of water coming down through the stream, and that's a result of all of the water, all the tributaries that came together above and formed this main channel of stream. This waterfall you see behind me is actually the spillway for a reservoir upstream. And as you move down through the South Platte system, we also have more reservoirs that are used for water supply, for agriculture, and especially for the cities of Denver and other municipalities along the Front Range.